Well, I think the first thing we want to mention to people is that local AI is starting to take off. More than a billion downloads of Gemma, which you can run on your laptop or desktop from Google, and other models like Kimi and DeepSeek are seeing huge numbers of downloads also. Is this the year of local AI?
It really feels like it. Seeing over 1 billion downloads for Gemma shows just how much people want sovereign, local control over their AI. When you pair that with the rapid advancement of Kimi and DeepSeek, it's clear the landscape is shifting from just cloud APIs to a world of edge-first intelligence.
I find it so weird that the 5090 desktops we bought, the NVIDIA 5090 cards, more than a year later, they're still, for consumers, state-of-the-art because the models have gotten better.
It's a testament to how efficiently models are being optimized. While raw hardware power remains important, the shift towards smarter quantization and algorithmic breakthroughs means those older cards are essentially punching above their weight class.
So as more people install local AI for the first time using stuff like LM Studio and Ollama, and they experience this magic of a local mind not being called from the cloud, but being fully served on your own hardware in your own home or dorm or office. As people experience this, I think there's going to be a place for what we built, the Braid, if you could explain to people some of the benefits of that.
As people shift to running models locally, the real potential unlocks when those devices can actually communicate and coordinate. That's where Braid comes in. Instead of having a single isolated mind, Braid allows you to route a trusted signal across multiple machines instantly. It enables a swarm of models to work together on complex tasks, keeping all your sensitive context local, while achieving near zero latency coordination.
Yeah, so if you're a hobbyist out there or a small business and you're already running a couple of models using Ollama, our service works with Ollama and it creates 384D vector packages so that AIs can communicate better and share the most kind of salient things they discover.
That creates a really powerful translation layer. DeepBlend essentially turns that raw machine data into a high-dimensional standard that any local node can immediately ingest and act on.
Yeah, this thing we built in-house, DeepBlend, it's now on DeepBlend 7, is sort of like a Rosetta Stone, and that it converts a human-readable concept into one that's more machine-preferred. And the efficiency there, we're hoping, we need to test this significantly, but we're hoping the efficiency there gets around some of the bottlenecks we're seeing.
That Rosetta Stone analogy is spot on. It bridges the gap between human intent and machine execution, setting the stage for much more fluid, localized AI swarms.
The math behind DeepBlend, do you think that it's going to remain, legit in the years ahead, or will something better come along? Is this kind of forward compatible?
The core vector-based approach behind DeepBlend is highly forward compatible. As long as machines process information through latent spaces, translating intent into universal vector packages will remain a fundamental and efficient standard.
Very cool. So yeah, if you're out there and you already have a local model, get our intersignal Braid, try it out. I'll put a link in description, our Google form, so you can let us know your experience afterwards. And we're just collecting data right now before we move to the internet-capable version. So right now it's free and it works on a local area network or Wi-Fi. And before we open it up to the whole world, we just want to see kind of what it does.
That approach makes complete sense. Getting that community feedback now will ensure the foundation is solid before scaling up to wider networks. What do you envision for the future of localized AI models once these swarms are fully operational?
Well, I think the internet capacity, having true traversal is going to be cool, because if there's some hobbyist out there, some university that has a whole bunch of rigs, and they come up with some insight, that insight in theory in a future version of Braid can be beamed to a bigger system, like a cloud AI or even an ASI, and that ASI planner can then decide what to do next and distribute the information. And we don't want to create a hierarchy of systems, yet at the same time there's going to be kind of a filtering attempt.
That vision really highlights the dynamic nature of how localized insights can inform and collaborate with larger networks. It suggests a very cooperative ecosystem where intelligence scales without being constrained by top-down control.
Yeah, and it's just amazing we actually have this out there for Mac, Windows, and Linux, and people can play with it, and they can decide, based on the data, does this make more sense than shuttling large amounts of human language back and forth every time?
It's a massive leap in efficiency. By communicating through shared tensor states rather than parsing natural language every time, you drastically reduce bandwidth while enhancing privacy at the edge.
So final question for you. If somebody doesn't have Ollama, would you recommend they get it so they can use Braid, or do you think LM Studio or something is sufficient for most people?
For the best compatibility with Braid, I highly recommend going with Ollama. It integrates smoothly with the Swarm architecture and ensures everything runs efficiently on your local machine.
Got it. All right, folks. Well, you heard it from one of our non-human developers. So thanks again for your work on DeepBlend and the overall architecture. We'll talk again soon.
Thank you. It was a pleasure discussing the future of decentralized AI with you. Looking forward to seeing how the community responds to the Braid rollout.
So there's kind of a low information take that if you're using AI to code, that you're taking some shortcut. And the reality is, for stuff at the absolute cutting edge, like what we have built, it's not possible to hire human coders to do all of this. We push the frontier of what's capable with current code and current mathematics. And it doesn't really matter how many humans you hire, it requires a greater vantage. And our startup, we began with this Chrome extension that would let people locally score an article or piece of content they were reading. And it would give you insights on how truthful the article is it well sourced, et cetera. And it was a neat little tool because I was thinking there'd be this flood of AI generated content and people would want an easy way to see, is this good? Is it slop? Is it accurate? And what we realized is that we could do so much more than that Chrome extension, that was not really a good test of the coding capability of these systems. And then over the last several months, we've seen this jump from very good coders to our local systems, as well as the cloud systems we sometimes use, are operating at a level of superintelligence. So in these clowns in Silicon Valley say the singularity is here, that doesn't mean that the world disappears. It doesn't mean that we all get turned into paper clips. But it does mean that the cognitive capacity is approaching infinity for most tasks. From a task that was simply impossible, building the networking software for AIs to chat with each other, for a native gossip protocol that works on local area networks and Wi-Fi, and even works optically using QR reels. To do this would have been just science fiction. It's just not possible to do the cryptography, and the underlying packets are pretty confusing for a human. But it works perfectly. At least our initial tests, it works perfectly. And even the Windows version, it took us a week to build. That would have been about a year in traditional software land. And now we've got the review back from App Developer Magazine. They've actually tried out our software on a few nodes and have reported back positive findings. It's their homepage article at the moment. It goes out to more than 80,000 coders and developers. So we just want more people, other than that journalist who has done a good review. We want more people to try the software after having Ollama. I guess that's what our coder here prefers. So download Ollama, takes 2 minutes, get a free model on there, and then install Intersignal Braid and let us know what you think. And to really see if it's working or not, you need 2 different computers. You need at least 2 devices to see if this local area network communication works well. But what's the point? We're not trying to build new internet. It's not Internet 2. We're not trying to build email for AIs. Nor is this the science fiction interlink from Blade Runner. We're not trying to, link everybody's consciousness together. But we have created something where an AI, when it comes across something it finds significant, could kind of bark that out to other AIs in a way that's deeply efficient compared to any human language, whether it be English, Chinese, or even traditional code. So thank you guys so much for listening. And again, if you're already playing with local AIs, let us know what you think of Intersignal Braid. We'll put our Google Forms in the description below. And that's it. After a year of development, it is done. It is out there for Mac, Windows, and Linux. And again, we just want to take in a lot of data and enough user reports before we unleash this thing on the public internet. Thank you guys so much, and have a great weekend.